The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at wrestlingwithjohners.com.
Brad Marcus, and welcome to another episode of Toilet Side Wrestling Talk. Today's guest hails from Melbourne, Florida, and trained at Pro Wrestling 2.0 under Alex Porteau, Eric Lockhart, Cedric Alexander, and Jack Gallagher. He's worked for such promotions as Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling, I Believe in Wrestling, Real Pro Wrestling, Riot Pro Wrestling, Ring Wars Carolina, Platinum Pro Wrestling, WXW Wrestling, and more. He's a five-time ARW Hardcore champion. He's shared the ring with likes of Ray Zion, Jason Dugan, Vertigo, Bud Heavy, Zach Monstar, Alex Misery, and more. So let's welcome today's guest, someone who wants to marry Pamela Anderson. I'm just not sure which version, but we're going to get to the bottom of that, I assure you. He's the Golden Girls' favorite, the Golden God, Jerry Swirlz. Jerry, how are you?
I'm doing good, Brad. I'm doing really good. I would say that out of all the intros I've had, that was probably one of the best ones. I normally am the one that's always on the ground. So,
sometimes I'm limited with the amount of, media I have to work with. So I always do my best trying to get like the most recent that I have access to.
Well,
I got a question for you.
Yes, go ahead.
When I was researching all about Jerry Swirlz, do you have a healthy infatuation with Pamela Anderson?
Well, I mean, to say she's like kind of my queen is a bit, on the nose, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it
like
this.
When did this? Because you're a lot younger than me, I think. Oh, not, I think I know. And so when I was like in my 20s, she was really hot. She'd just come off of the Baywatch stuff. Yes. When did you get into her?
I got into Pamela Anderson. It's funny. I discovered her stuff a little bit on Baywatch after. It was the night of WrestleMania 11 when she came out with Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels. That was kind of a thing that I kind of discovered her. I mean, like, keep in mind, I wasn't even born in that time, but
yeah, totally.
I knew of her, so that was kind of a thing that led me into, she did Baywatch and she did all this stuff. So, I mean, to say that I'm a little obsessed is,
you've never been in her house at night while she's sleeping and you're creeping around with a mask on, right?
Mean, she kind of lives with me practically, so,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
That's a little bit on the down low, though.
Yeah, no, I won't tell anyone. Jeez.
Oh, well, we're live, so.
Yeah, you're lucky. You're a lucky man. You're a lucky man.
To say the least. However, though, there is a special documentary coming out very soon, so keep your eyes peeled on that one. But we'll find the deets on that one.
Oh, awesome! All right, something to look forward to. The Golden Girls.
Yes.
Can you explain the origin of this as part of you as a pro wrestler?
So the Golden Girls the original idea actually came from he was actually on your show, Jason Dugan. He was the one that kind of came up with that character. He's become an owner recently of ARW along with his manager Frank Saltarelli at Atomic Wrestling, and Alex Red kind of had a it's weird. This is it's gonna sound weird at first. I have a lot of weird stuff about me, so we're gonna dwell a little bit deep into this.
Take your time.
So the Golden Girls character kind of came about when I was on a trip to WrestleMania 34. It was on the way to New Orleans, and I remember on the way there, I didn't really pack much. As a matter of fact, I didn't really have much money in my pockets at the time, check and stuff like that. So what ended up happening was it rained on the way over there. So I didn't pack I only packed one change of clothes. And I remember I just had a jacket on. I was shirtless. My pants were soggy. It was awful. we pulled over to a Walmart, and, out of the blue, we see, I'm walking through and I'm trying to go through all the shirt sections and stuff like that. And the first thing that I see was the original blue Golden Girls shirt that had squads on it. And I no recollection, no thought process to it. Obviously, I've heard of the show.
Sure.
And I had a little knowledge of it because my mom used to watch the show back in the day. So I looked at that shirt, put it over me, zipped up my jacket, and never looked back ever since. Kind of weird saying it like that, but obviously I had to go pay for the shirt.
I love the origin story.
Yes, it was very awe-inspiring and very kind of weird to say the least. But it kind of just picked up from there. So I kind of started to watch a little bit more episodes. I recently watched. This has become one of my favorite ones. Is the one where they're at the dinner theater, murder mystery, and B. Arthur is kind of searching. Well, Dorothy. I'm so used to actors' names and stuff like that. She went and she actually went around hitting all the clues and stuff like that, and then it led to an actual murder happen. If you haven't seen the episode,
I probably did live and only one time, when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
But no, that's typical Dorothy. Sounds like to me.
Oh, typical Dorothy.
Let me ask you, wait, there was a murder, an actual murder in this?
Originally, it was so the way the episode was set up, and for all those people that don't watch Golden Girls, the way the episode was set up was they went to I guess Blanche was trying to get with somebody, obviously.
Yeah, she's so horny.
Oh, she is. She's the horniest of them all. I mean, not like I have a pop-on figure of her in my first bag. So anyway, we had the God, I lost my train of thought. So she got invited, and she brought the whole gang with her. And Dorothy was picking up all these clues because a murder mystery had just taken place after a wedding.
Yeah.
And basically, she handed out all the clues, pointed out the murder mystery right there. This person did that, such and such. It was just kind of little bit.
Sure.
And the one line that really struck to me was coincidence. Do siblings like to have? Do siblings I forgot what it was, but it was that line right there. I was like, okay, let's incorporate some of this kind of stuff into the character. Let's make some of these because all their personalities are so different. Dorothy, the witty, you have Dorothy, the smart one. Rose, the dim-witted one, Blanche, the horny one. I mean, and Sophia, who's the very witty yet, I would say the most level-headed out of all of them, in my opinion.
Do you know that when that show was filming, she was the youngest one?
Yes, that's actually
crazy.
That surprised me, actually. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I never knew that for a long time, and it's crazy. Betty White has outlived all of them. Actually, as a matter of fact, I know the Golden Girls are going to be coming to theaters very soon, so that's kind of pretty cool to me.
Really?
Yes. In Dallas, Texas, they're starting there. They're going to actually run a Golden Girls movie, and I think they're only doing it in select theaters and stuff like that. And
wow.
I am hoping and praying that, it's possible.
Yeah.
If anybody's able to give me tickets or anything like that. I mean, I'm not asking or begging. No, I'm kidding.
I'm hoping that there's no nudity in this.
Well, I mean,
I've never said to someone, Dorothy, yeah, she's the hot one.
yeah,
I've never said that.
really, Dorothy's the hot one, huh?
No, hey, I just
I
threw it
don't
out
know. I don't judge. That's fine. That's
there.
perfectly fine with me. I never knew that. Everybody's got their choices. Obviously, I got
Totally,
mine.
totally. Um, so you had a pretty busy weekend, this
Yeah,
past weekend, correct? What
I
can
did.
you take me through? Like, what's like your routine on the day of a show? Like,
So,
are you excited when you wake up in the morning?
I mean, like, my first thought is to obviously grab an energy drink and take a shower
Uh-huh.
for sure. Normally my day starts out with I try to cook some breakfast. I try to have a little something like I'll try to make some eggs every now and
Sure.
then. I'll do like a little bit of spinach with it. I'll even actually believe it or not, I'll mix ramen noodles with eggs and get a little bit of carbs inside me, so that way I'm good for the day. And depending on if I'm going out of state or whatnot, just kind of prepare, get prepaid for that or
Mm-hmm.
prepaid. Prepared. Just kind of mentally get ready for the day and just kind of take it on from there. Normally I'll have a Raised energy drink or Beyond the Raw Lit. My favorite one is the Blue Raspberry Jolly Ranger. That is a personal favorite of mine. I mean, I can't go wrong with the Raised brand energy drinks or a standard cup of coffee. Really,
Yeah.
sometimes 2 creamers, no sugar, because obviously I am dieting. Still trying to diet. I mean, like I've kind of been a lot more polite with myself in recent times. So
Do you like at what point? Like, do you get to like the venue like hours beforehand? Do you have to do that, or at this
um
point you can get there a little bit before showtime?
normally I try to get there before showtime. I'm a very punctual person.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, and I carpool with a couple other people too.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so and I'm blessed and fortunate enough to have them in my life to come with me, and sometimes it'll be vice versa. I'll drive and they'll come with me, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll just get to the show as soon as possible, get ready, get situated, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, really, it's just like from there. I mean, like I typically try to get my workouts out. I don't like working out a day of show because
Yeah.
your mind, you have to be focused. You want to be relaxed. You want to
Mhm.
get to talk to everybody, talk to the promoter, talk to everybody, see what's going on, see where your place is at on the card.
Do you
And just
feel
kinda,
anxious at this time, like before the match?
in my early years, I was very anxious. I mean, like here's the thing: if you don't have butterflies
Uh-huh.
before you hit that curtain and your music hits, you should stop. That's one of the things that
Yeah.
I was taught, is what I've learned. Matter of fact, I've had a lot of stuff going through me. And this past weekend, I did WXW's 25-year anniversary. I was at a show, and that was
Uh-huh.
really awesome. That was so cool to do. And just getting together with Alpha Pops and his daughter Vale. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, Pops actually was not there. He was actually watching it from his house. It's crazy.
Oh,
That
okay.
man is he's such a busy guy, and he's such a he's a great knowledge and a great mind for this business, in my opinion. I'm so privileged and honored and been
Yeah, I
blessed.
imagine.
Yeah, and I'm very good. And Vale and his daughter Vale, and mom Lynn.
Uh,
There's the Onawai family. It never ends.
I know it keeps like
It
one
keeps
after
growing
the
and
other. It
growing.
just keeps happening. I mean, it's been going on for years, decades.
Right. Not only that, but there's a lot that really get prepared for. Like, it feels like WWE, honestly, in my opinion. If I was at WWE and being at WXW, that's what it feels like, because
Uh,
look at where Pops came from. I mean, like,
yeah.
for the years and years, and needless to say, I had a good show. I had a good match.
Uh-huh.
Got the W, and matter of
Awesome.
fact, went right on over to CFWE, which was about 55, maybe an hour away, and
Okay.
picked up another W. So
That's a pretty good weekend. 2-0,
yeah,
undefeated.
I have to say my weekend was really, really good, to say the least.
Yeah, nice.
I can safely and resignedly say that. So.
Are you in Brothers in Arms right now?
So, I'm still being under initiation.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm still trying to go through the process. I mean,
Sure.
we did one show. We got the W. Well, I got
Uh-huh.
the W, I should say.
Nice.
Just putting the work in, no
No,
big
no,
deal.
no. Exactly. I applaud
And
them.
in Alabama, we kind of didn't. So I mean, 1-1, it's not bad, but
Okay. Can only go up.
oh, it's only up from here. Yeah, I mean, are you kidding me? So we'll see what Magic City holds for us September 25th.
Awesome. So you live in Florida right now, and you also grew up there?
Yeah, I've been born and raised. Originally from South Florida.
Okay.
Believe it or not, Miami. Ironically, where the Golden
Oh,
Girls get
wow.
shot at.
Like your mailing address was Miami, Florida?
Not exactly. No. It was near Miami. Vero Beach. I was in Vero
Oh,
Beach,
yeah.
so
Okay.
it's not terribly far from Miami, but I mean, I could safely say that I was a bit born and raised. I used to go
Yeah.
to.
That's like how I say I'm in Chicago. I'm not too far from it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Bears for life. Am I right?
So what did you have, Hun, do you go to the beach every day when you live down there?
Oh my gosh, I love going to the beach. I mean, it has been. I mean, my wrestling schedule has been a little flexed
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, so it's been kind of hard for me to go to the beach and go out for a run and stuff like that. I've kind of contemplated just doing my thing, getting my
Mm-hmm.
workout in, and playing my video games. I love playing
Nice.
video games.
What
I
games
got
do you play, may I ask? Unless that's private.
no, go ahead.
What games do you like?
I am a big wrestling game fanatic. I know that's kind of a little on the nose and a little cliche for me to
No,
say, but
I
I love
haven't
it.
met many wrestlers who are like, first of all, as honest as that, and like actually that's their genre that they love. Go on. This
Oh
is
yeah,
very
no.
interesting.
I it's crazy. I own WWE 2K18, and I have like a whole like saga storyline that I play out, and I kind of just
Did you make
go through the
yourself?
motions. I've had people make me. I've had one
Okay, so
person
you've
make
like
me.
downloaded you if you wanted to.
Well, I have downloaded myself
Uh-huh.
for 2K20. I haven't really. I can't do it on 2K18. I mean, I have toyed with the
Oh,
idea
okay.
of making myself, but that's a lot of work to put in for this beautiful
I
game.
know it really is. Like back in
Oh,
the day, I made one of myself, and it took like a week. Like now, I can't even imagine like every single move, like having to. So
having all the motions and all the the theatrics. The entrance is the easy part. All I do is well, as funny as this is, and he just got announced for ARW, Dirty Dango,
oh,
Fandango, Johnny
really?
Curtis. I use his entrance, yes.
When
Those hips may not lie to Johnny Curtis, but Jerry Swirlz has a bigger ass, and we'll see if that can get put to the test. I'm just throwing stuff out there, no big deal.
Sure, sure. But when the
Um,
pandemic first started, I hooked up my Nintendo 64. So I've been playing, No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000 and
nice. I
Revenge.
I actually own a Game Boy SP, and
Really?
actually have a lot of old school. Yes, I have a lot of old school games. Super Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I have a lot of. Actually, as a matter of fact, if I go through it, but it's in my dresser right now. I have I have a lot of the old Nickelodeon games because I was a big Nickelodeon kid growing up.
Oh, okay. Well,
I love.
that Game Boy sounds perfect for like going to the bathroom. Not, you know what
Yes.
I mean? Like when you have to
Just when
sit
you're
there for a
busy
few
and
minutes.
you've traveled through so long, and you just you're bored and you get tired of looking at the news media on your phone, so it's like, and you don't really have enough storage on your phone to like download apps, so you just use your Game Boy SP and
Yeah,
plug in
totally.
the little game box and just turn it on and kind of, wow, it made me sound old. Game box. I'm not
Well,
that old either, too, ironically, so
sure,
but
but for yourself, you're old.
exactly.
You're the oldest you've ever been in your life,
I mean,
in your world.
I mean, shoot, to actually make it to the age that I'm at right now, like, it's kind of awe-inspiring in what I've done and what I've been able to accomplish so far in my career. And that's coming from all the training and all the hard work and just everything that's kind of come my way. It's been nothing but a blessing, really.
It's it sounds like the life of a superhero. When you
Well,
were a little boy down in Florida, do you take advantage of going to the beach every day, or appreciate that you live on the beach, or
I
is it
mean,
just
for me, like, it's awesome to really just see that view and to still like have the
Mhm.
access to even like go to a beach, really. Because I know, like, when the pandemic first broke out, it was kind of hard going to the beach. Like,
Yeah, sure.
you can't really go around and like the whole thing with social distancing, wearing face masks. I couldn't
Mhm.
imagine suntanning while wearing a face mask. So even then, that kind of
Yeah,
destroyed
that would
my
be
my day.
bad on several levels.
Yeah.
Did your whole family live down in Florida when you were
Um,
growing up?
my mom actually has family up in Georgia, Alabama,
Okay.
and my dad was born and raised in Florida. So believe it or
Okay.
not, and I've got other family from North Carolina as well too. So it's kind of a little out there kind of thing,
In the
but
same region, but not necessarily the same
not
state.
necessarily far away, really. I mean, like if you were to take a plane, of course, but
Yeah,
regardless, needless to say, everybody's like in one big little happy circle. So
sure. Did
yeah,
you have siblings?
I do. I have a 14-year-old sister,
Oh, so
half
a big
sister.
age difference.
Yes, a little bit of a big age difference. So, and even then, seen her every once in a while, and still seeing her grow up, it's pretty interesting. I
Yeah, I'm
mean, in my
sure. I'm sure.
opinion. You,
Um,
oh, go ahead.
do you have a relationship with her?
I have I would say a pretty good relationship. She used to come to a lot of the shows. I mean, she's focused on schoolwork and stuff like that. So
Sure,
like,
sure.
and
It-
she's doing great. I mean, like she's doing fine. Last time I talked to her, last time I seen her. So
when
you
she
know,
gets in her 20s, then you guys will be able to relate a little better.
I believe it. No
Because
doubt. No.
I had
No.
half brothers who were 16 and 18 years younger than me,
Oh
and
wow.
I couldn't relate to them until, they were in college or in their 20s, and then we could talk about the same stuff,
Right.
and relationship got really good at that point.
Exactly.
Enough about me. What was your personality like in growing up as a kid?
Uh, wow. I mean, it was a bit of a transition from kind of the guy the Jerry Swirlz you see now, to
Yeah,
the boy that you saw back in high school and middle school,
sure.
even elementary school. I was very it's great. It was weird. I was not like most kids at first. I was kind of quiet.
Okay.
I actually got put in a special class where they thought that there was something wrong with me and that I had a speech problem. Believe it or not. And
Hmm. No science
you know,
yet, but
it kind of struck a nerve with my dad. It kind of struck a nerve with my dad, and after getting out of elementary school and transitioning over to middle school officially, he realized that he's fine. He doesn't really have anything wrong with him.
did you think something was wrong with you? Like, were you aware of
You
that?
know,
That's why they put you in this class?
I guess for my sake, like I just kind of went with everything, really. I was not
Uh-huh.
really like paying attention to what was going on or like why until like I hit 13 years old, really. That
Hmm.
was when like stuff kind of like made me realize at such a young age, because my mom passed away back in September, actually,
Oh, oh my
last
God,
year.
I'm so sorry.
She never got the chance to really see me wrestle. I mean, like I was blessed and fortunate enough to go see her before the pandemic broke out, but
Oh, thank God.
she no, I think she's an angel up in heaven watching me
Yeah,
live.
she's with you every day.
Absolutely. And I think for me, my mom was always very protective. She
Hmm.
always wanted me, but she loved wrestling so much, just like as much as I did. I mean, my dad was the one that was originally that got me into it, but
Yeah.
and so much so that I don't think he expected me to do the things that I did. But
Did your mom and dad but
well,
prior to making you, obviously, did they watch wrestling together? Like, were they
uh,
into it
well,
before you were even?
Well, it's funny because my parents divorced when I was young, and my
Okay.
dad was the one that was heavy into wrestling. My mom and I would try to watch it at least like when it came on live, like Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, and this is
Uh-huh.
like back in 2007, 2008. I
Okay.
mean, I was pretty heavy into it back then. You know, that my favorite wrestler at the time was Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was a personal favorite. My all-time favorite, believe it or not, Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is one of my all-time
Really?
favorites. Yes, I
That's very. I've
love
never heard that. Nothing
Billy
wrong
Gunn.
with it.
No, I love Billy Gunn.
Uh-huh.
I think one of my earliest memories of him was, I mean, his iconic music. You know, the ass man. That's kind of a play on to what I do. The suck my
Uh-huh.
ass. So yes,
Totally.
man, it blends well. It blends well. It gens well. As weird as
Uh-huh.
that may sound, as I'm pointing my hands like this. But no, Billy Gunn was one of my favorites growing up, and I've actually gotten the chance to meet him a couple times.
Oh,
He's a lot
cool.
taller. He's a lot
And
taller in person.
each day that he is still in the business is incredible,
Oh,
and the
it's
shape that
insane.
he's in.
And remarkably so, like, and the fact that he's going to team up with his own sons, Austin and Colton.
It's
I've
amazing.
actually met Austin too.
Oh,
Austin's
really?
awesome. Oh, he's cool. He's so cool. He was very. I think this is before like he was starting to get released and doing more matches. I actually took a Sean Spears seminar
Oh,
at
cool.
Pro Wrestling 2.0, and I
Mhm.
remember Billy Gunn was there, Tyler Breeze was there, Peyton Royce was there too.
Wow.
Um, and this was at the time when she was signed with WWE. This
Mhm.
is when like Austin was in that class. This is when Austin was just starting to get released to doing matches, and I got to actually like be in the same training ring with him, and actually got to know him and talk to him for a little bit. He's a cool dude. He's
Is
really
it
cool.
surreal at first, like being
What?
in the ring with him?
You know, I mean, like after I was in it for I've been in it for 3.5 years now, and back
Uh-huh.
then, like when I was in it, it was kind of like, you know, Billy's goosebumps, you know, I still kind of, I mean, like I try not to show goosebumps as much as
Sure,
you know,
sure, of
I've been learning
course.
to grow and adapt to that. But like at the same time, you know, that's your idol, you know, that's the guy
Uh-huh.
that who you've seen do the famous there's so many times, who you've seen wrestle A Train, who you've seen wrestle team up with Hardcore Holly, who, and I know I'm naming all the stuff that was not as memorable as it was in the Attitude Era, of course, but like that was the Billy Gunn that I got to witness.
Sure, sure.
Even in TNA too. I mean, you know, I thought his TNA run was, you know, in my opinion, a really good run. So
Yeah,
it's just
he's never like boring,
no,
like
no.
he can always go.
It sucks that he never really got that push for the
I
WWE
know.
title
Like
because
when he became the one, I thought that was going to be his, big
I,
push, but it never
I think the
came.
situation with that was, I think it's just like, you know, you can only do so much with the ass man, really. But you know,
Totally.
I thought you could. I thought you could do a lot with it, honestly, in my opinion, as a WWE champion. But that's just my opinion. You know,
Yeah, he
it's
could have gone to proctology school, and they could go a story after. I don't know. I'm no booker, nor am I a writer. Would you say that the kids that you went to like middle school and high school, would you think that the ones that you don't keep in touch with, would
right.
they be think it was weird? Not weird. Would they be shocked that you became a pro wrestler?
I mean, the ones I stayed in touch with now are still kind of shocked about it.
Really?
I still have a couple people that I'm kind of in touch with, but like not as much anymore. I mean,
Uh-huh.
they none of them have really been to a show. The only person that I know has been to a show was an old coworker of mine at Publix, and you know that's pretty cool. You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like they say, you know, you have all of these followers that are behind you, and then there's that one person that was always there from day one. So
Yeah.
that speaks a lot of volumes to me. I mean, I still keep in touch, and there's a lot of posts that I make when I'm on my Instagram, and I still get them every now and then message of, oh, this is so cool.
Oh,
Thanks,
that's
man. Thanks,
nice.
man. So,
So
you
when
know,
did you? Can you even like pinpoint the time where you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. I'm going to find a trainer.
oh, it was right after high school. Right
Did
after high
you have?
school.
Were you planning on that? Was that your after high school plan? After you
No,
graduate?
believe it or not, no. I mean, it was a second plan, but like, you know, the first plan that I wanted to do originally was it was go to college or,
Uh,
you know, take the ASVAB and learn how to be a culinary arts in the military, in the Navy. But I
cool.
think just for me, it was it just I really loved wrestling so much, and it was like I sat down. I remember this specifically. I was sitting down in my lab class,
Hmm.
high school, And I remember just sitting there and I just was just thinking, like, what am I going to do after this? Like, my
Yeah.
graduation's coming up soon, and I'm working this like grocery store job. I'm still trying to make ends meet. And it's like, what's more than that? I mean, like, there's nothing. Here's my thing. I love my country. I would serve it no matter what if I had to. If the draft happened, if the draft came back, proud and be would serve it in a heartbeat.
Sure.
But the more you think about it, the people that come out of it, or even the people that a couple of the kids that I knew got disqualified, and it was like my little circle that I had no friends in high school. And I just kept looking at that, and I kept looking at me. I was like, I don't want to be disqualified for something, because I'm very prideful of that. I'm very prideful of what I do, and to see that kind of like put a nerve in me was like, sure, give it a shot. Let's get a nut. Let's nudge this. Let's give this a shot. So I took a chance, went to a school in Orlando, left there.
How did you find out about that school?
I found out about that. I found out about a bunch of other schools, and the one that I stuck to officially was Pro Wrestling 2.0.
Yeah.
Alex the Bug Porto. And I remember, like, the school went through so much. Like, Cedric Alexander was a really cool one to come through the doors of 2.0. Ace Steel, when he got furloughed by WWE, he was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Native Chicago, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
CM Punk's trainer.
Heck yeah.
It's funny. I put a picture of a Throwback Thursday of us in class together, and I accidentally spelled his name wrong. It's actually not. I believe it's not an E. There's an E at the end, or there's not an E at the end. I have to go back and look at the messages, but
yeah,
he messaged me and told me, he's like, hey, I'm glad that you're still doing your thing, and I'm happy for you. By the way, that's not how you spell my name. without the E, not me. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, coach. My bad.
That's hilarious. You got his attention.
Oh, I did. Yeah. I mean, shoot, he still knocks. He likes him. He pays attention. Believe it or not, a lot of people pay attention to the stuff that you do when you don't realize it.
Yeah.
That's a cool one to me.
What do you do? You call there? Or do you show up there?
Oh, for wrestling training? I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of school. Oh, my first one. I just showed up, and really, like, I had a hard time kind of, getting my fundamentals down at first.
What's the first thing they teach you? And had you ever been in a wrestling ring up to that point?
No, not really. I've only seen it up close, or maybe the only time I ever got close to it was like touching like the little canvas part of it. But like,
yeah.
Once you get in,
first time.
It was really just like, wow, I'm really doing this.
Yeah.
I'm hitting the ropes. I'm running. I'm actually, bouncing back and forth. Like, this is it's a really cool moment. But then after a while, once you've done it for so long,
yeah, exactly.
You kind of get in that mode of,
like, I loved having my own office, and it wore off like a day or two later. Like,
I was gonna say that office looks.
That's where I go to work. Well, this is my bathroom, but I mean, like, my real job, like. It's,
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not on a toilet. I'm not.
I was going to say, okay. We'd be having a very different conversation right now.
No, I'm fully dressed. Completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're good. You're safe here. You're safe.
I mean, sit and swirl, man. Sit and swirl.
So.
That might be the name of a talk show. We might have to.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so you get into the ring. What's the first thing they have you do?
The first thing they have you do, you do your warm-ups, like doing your rolls.
Were you ready for it physically?
At the time, no, I wasn't. Like, I mean, I was kind of in shape, but I kind of let myself go a little bit after year one. I gained 200 pounds, and then I gained an extra 45 pounds during the pandemic.
Wait, you gained 200 pounds?
I gained, well, no, I shouldn't say. I was 200 pounds.
Okay, I
no, no,
was
no.
like,
Oh, no, no,
wow,
no.
that's
That'd be
impressive. Like,
well. Still, I mean, I was still pretty big at the time, though. If I sent you
yeah.
like, if I send you, if you look up an old picture of me, you notice how like pudgy and how
Oh,
thick I was. I was a bit like, I was kind of like Dick Murdoch, that kind of
okay.
body shape. But at the
Sure.
same time, there was actually one point I had to get sat down and realized that, hey, you're a little out of shape. You got to learn to put back and kind of
Sure.
relax on that. So, I mean, I'll flat out say Jason Dugan is one of my closest friends outside of wrestling. He's
Uh-huh.
someone that has helped me out through so much in my career. Actually, he's a very pivotal point in helping me out with the Jerry Swirlz that you see today.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and actually now he's Tomic's opened up a wrestling school, but needless to say, I'll get back to that in a second.
Okay.
He noticed how much weight I gained and how much I've kind of dozed off. And I mean, I can blame me I mean, it was the pandemic, number one, but number two, he realized that if I'm going to, at 20 something years old, I shouldn't be looking like that. I should actually, be kind of in shape a little bit. So his girlfriend, Reagan, his girlfriend at the time, had this little weight training program or this little weight loss program that she was selling. And I never was really big into the weight selling or the weight loss kind of programs, but this one actually it works, and that's the name of the brand. It works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried these apple cider vinegar. My main thing was the keto coffee. Every
Okay.
day I would go into work, I would just take a little bit of these pouches, get a protein bottle, and put water in them and just shake it up from right there. And that was just pretty much my day. I
Oh,
still kind of
wow.
miss those. Best
Did you
$60 a
start
month.
dropping weight like really quickly?
Oh my God. Like I went from 245 to I'm now 185,
Holy
about
shit.
170. It bounces back and forth, 179 to 185.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
So it
So
was a
do you
big change.
still do you, does the way you eat now, is it changed or you eat the same but you're smarter about it?
I mean, it's changed a little bit. I mean, like I've allowed a little bit more carbs. I've been trying to build a little bit more muscle now. I've been trying to finally get that back, and I mean, I still am smart with my food. I don't try to overdo it. Like every day, and this is a little bit like during and after I got off getting into ketosis,
Hmm.
I would make these little spinach bowls. That was one of the things that was key to me. Spinach, Popeye said it best. Spinach
Exactly.
out of a can builds the freaking muscles, and you know. But really, I made spinach. I took a protein. I would
Mhm.
take I was either turkey, ham, chicken, steak, whatever. I would take hummus. Hummus was the key because unlike ranch, unlike mustard, hummus actually has the chickpeas, so it's a veggie.
Yeah.
And I would mix some more veggies in that too. Sometimes it'd be carrots, sometimes it'd be asparagus.
Uh-huh.
It be really any other veggie. Mix that up, eat that, and then drink the coffee. And that was just kind of what started the slow progression of me losing all the weight. And
Wow.
even then, if I didn't have what I needed, I would kind of alternate. I would just kind of go and try these different little things. Like,
Hmm.
okay,
To
just
find
take the
what
bread
you
out of
like.
this. Yeah, basically. So, and
Um,
go ahead.
do you ever get like did you, I guess is the better question, ever get discouraged, about like having to drop weight, and learning, the business?
I mean, at that time, like I was when I was fat, like I was
When you were
privileged. Like
fat, that's
I mean, I can say. I mean, here's the thing. If you can be the biggest man in the world, but if you're gonna be a big man, be a big man.
yeah, own it.
But no, like back when I was like heavier, when wrestling was like shut down and everything, like
Mhm.
where I lived in Brevard County, there still wasn't as much restrictions, I guess you could say, because it's a smaller county, it's a little smaller town,
Mhm.
and with everything that happened, really the biggest one for me was like now I'm getting my opportunity because I got to do a cinematic match. And if you look it up, the Anything Goes Purge match with me and Monstar, like
Uh-huh.
if you look that match up, like that was during the pandemic, like the year, the date, like last year. It was just that kind of like made me feel like, wow, like I'm blessed to be even wrestling right now. And like
Yeah.
that was kind of the start of me starting to lose weight. Losing
Okay.
weight too. Like, I mean, like during that time, like, so really that was a progression. And
Hmm.
even then, like mentally, it was like, wow, it really does show like how I need to do this, because I might not be doing this much longer. I might even be dead by 30. So, I mean, I don't want to say
Jesus.
all that, but
Yeah, yeah. So like, what do you consider like paying dues? Like, do you think you've paid dues, or is that something that like
you
is
never stop paying your dues.
constant?
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
I'll be very honest. You
Hmm.
never stop paying your dues in this business. Nobody ever does.
No
I
one does.
mean, like the thing about that is, if you're new, like, I guess this would be kind of my advice. If you're brand new and
Mhm.
like you want to get out there, like go out of your way to go see these shows, whether you live in your local town or whether you want to go out of state and you really want to be a part of that show.
Hmm.
It never hurts to go out and go up to a show, up to a state, and travel and carpool with people that want it just as
Hmm.
bad as you do. Like, because that's what I'm going to keep using him as an example, but that's how Jason Dugan got his start. He went out and traveled and wanted an opportunity so that he wanted to wrestle. And and he would go to these shows and may not get booked, may get booked as a referee, and then, showcase what he has as a wrestler,
Yeah.
and show him his stuff, and then come back the next time, really. Like,
Hmm.
and of course, setting up the ring and tearing down the ring, that's another big part if you're just brand new into the business too. That's a big deal.
Have you ever had
And
to do that by yourself? Put up a ring?
never, I've
Okay.
never had to do it by myself. I mean, I've had to do it. I've had to help out a lot with
Hmm.
setting up and tearing down rings. And I think one of the first ones I did it was up in Georgia, and God bless him now. But Jerry Stevens, he ran Georgia Wrestling Extreme, which is a AIWF promotion,
Hmm.
and he saw how I came. It's a bit of a long story, but like I kind of gave off a bad first impression, I guess I could
Okay.
say. Like I didn't want to. It wasn't the impression that I guess he was looking for.
Uh-huh.
And the next time I came back, I came in as a favor for a friend, stayed after the show, tore down the ring, and Jerry noticed that. Like, dang, this kid came all the way from Florida with his friends. Wanted a good opportunity. Next time I see him, I'm gonna get him booked on the show. It's really how much do you want? How much of the work do you want to put in? Like
Yeah, yeah.
how much sacrifice are you willing to take? Because I've seen a lot of people sacrifice, and I see a lot of the people that put in the work. And I haven't seen a whole lot of it, but I've seen the ones that want it and that don't want it. Basically, is what I'm gonna say. So
Okay.
I I'd say for other people that are also brand new, like that are only like 10 matches in,
Sure.
start developing the character, start getting something like what makes you, what sets you apart. It's something that actually Loki, who has another one of the coaches who I've gotten the chance to train with at 2.0.
Uh-huh.
Why are you here? What is your
Mhm.
purpose? Are you here to make money? Are you here to do this, that, the other, or are you here to conquer this? Like, you want to be on top of the world?
Is I'm here for the money ever an acceptable answer?
Uh, Wrestling is however you perceive it. I'll
Hmm.
say this: it's if you're in it for that. I mean, I don't want to say the wrong thing, and
Uh-huh.
I guess like if you want it for money that bad and you want to make a living, there are ways to do it. But at the same time, you're gonna realize you gotta work for that money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You gotta go out there and you gotta make an earning. Cool. Just go to all these shows, put your name out there, get this out there, put that out there, make sure you're doing this right, make sure you're doing that right. Pay attention to where your cameras are, know your
Yeah.
angle, and really just that's kind of how I see it. Me, like the biggest goal for me in I have a set goal in a few years, and I want to go to the UK. Like besides
Cool.
WWE, being signed to any major company. Like, I want to wrestle for the United Kingdom, like for England, for Scotland, for
Yeah,
Ireland.
that'd be
When the
cool.
when the world starts opening back up again, like I want to start going out there, start going to the UK and just kind of getting my name out there, branching out there, because I've always been a fan of the UK scene, like back when it was big. And I mean, like, it got popular in like the early 2010s. So
That would be amazing. And so do you just have to like make connections of people out there?
If you're really like trying to get to it and trying to get out there, like your best bet is to make connections, like to know some people. Like, obviously, like I said, if you want to be like, this is a good one. I didn't even know about this, but like when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, when they were El Generico and Kevin Steen, they would get together, travel to a show, and just kind of hope to be booked, basically, and just put themselves out there. There. That's kind of inspiring to me, in my opinion, because those are two guys that have been best friends and that wanted to get on the show, share the same passion, share the same drive, and they went out and traveling to God only knows where, hoping to get booked. Like, that's some real dedication, honestly. So,
and it makes for an amazing story, like a nice story arc.
Yeah,
like of putting in all that time. How often do you add to like your move set?
I mean,
like, do you have to go slow at first and then?
I mean, as long as my ass is out there, that's
you need that, obviously. I'm not stupid.
I'm kidding. No,
I am. No, I am. My wife.
No, you were not. Stop it.
No, I think I might be actually. Like, it was measured by numbers.
You put me on your show.
Yeah, again.
Listen, you're good to me. You
put
me
totally. I use good judgment. So like, do you have to be careful you're not taking a move that someone else is using in their like repertoire?
I've had a lot of workers that have been 10 matches in, and I've gotten the chance to work with Swoggle or the Colognes or anything, or even, well, obviously I got Cesar Bononi coming up this Saturday. ARW Wham Bam Slam on Fight TV, cheap plug. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna plug it.
Oh, bet. Awesome, sweet. No, I mean, like, if someone's less experienced than you, you got to work with what you got to work with. You have to kind of still be the aggressive guy. Like me, I have a character. I'm able to work with whatever and make something look as goober or green as the less experienced person is. I'm able to make up for it with the sell, with the character work, with the eccentricness, depending on if I'm playing one of the either roles really. So
how many hours per week do you like put into pro wrestling?
That is a very good question. Wrestling is 20. To me, wrestling is 24/7. Obviously, I do have I do have another job, of course. But at the same time, you got. But
are you putting in like additional like 20, 30 hours then for wrestling? Like, working out and training, performing.
Oh, absolutely. At least I'm trying to get the 5 days, but 3 to 4 days. Typically I try to get into the gym and just kind of get my workouts in, do my routines, try to make sure my cardio is up. I try to watch at least a couple wrestling matches, at least 2 times a day.
Now as a fan or to,
just to kind of study, see like, okay, this makes sense, that makes sense, and sometimes I'll even watch some of the coaches that I've gotten to work with, watch some of their matches.
Oh, cool.
Just kind of.
Can you watch wrestling as a fan anymore?
See, I think yes and no, in the aspect of like, for me, it's kind of weird. Like the holidays have just happened and, my birthday comes up. It's kind of like nice to just sit back and relax and just kind of enjoy like one of those shows and just kind of, see what's going on, see how the whole show is. Cause I'm about to go on 4 years and just kind of really see everything for what it is and like see most of it. Like, and I recently went through some stuff,
Mm-hmm.
personally, and I kind of internally had to fix all that. And I just now getting back on my feet finally, and just kind of now getting this interview finally really
Mm-hmm.
kind of just put me in the right mindset, kind of put me in the right frame of
Sure.
mind. Like, this is all a humbling experience, and don't let it. Just remember where you came from, and also at the same time, don't get so comfortable in this little switch, because if you do, then shit will go sour.
I
I
have
don't
a
know if I can curse on here or not, but
no. That's fine. You're an adult
okay.
or human.
I wanted to make sure. I just want to make
No,
sure.
no, it's all good. Don't worry about it. I don't care. My
Suck
kids say
my
the
ass.
yeah, no, my kids say the craziest stuff to me. Um, my
Awesome.
one last like wrestling. I have a ton more questions. We're gonna have to do a part two, but one question I want to ask you before I almost let you go.
Go ahead.
Are you able to like step outside of yourself, your wrestler self, and like be proud that like the kid that was watching Jeff Hardy in 2008? Are you able to step outside yourself? Wow, I'm a pro wrestler.
I kind of have it down to like three different personalities.
Okay.
If I can, you have Jerry Swirlz, the Golden Girls' favorite,
Yeah, yeah.
the guy that likes old ladies who
Hmm.
can go out there and turn it off like a switch, and then you got your 9 to 5 Jerry, the
Uh-huh.
one that has to go to work and has to pay the bills and stuff like that. Then you have the person that is kind of that human, that guy that really can connect with people on
Hmm.
a lower base level, and just really see too how the world is really. And like you said, like this life is precious.
Hmm.
That's one of the best things I can say, is this life is very
Yeah, it
precious.
makes sense.
It can go away from you in a heartbeat, really. So I guess that's the best way I could say. Like, for me, like, as a fan though, like, I still have that passion, I still have that drive,
Yeah.
and I never forget, like, where I come from as an individual, as a 9 to 5 worker, and as a
Uh-huh.
professional wrestler. Like, those three personalities alone are like my Infinity Gauntlet
Yeah,
gems.
totally,
So
totally.
I just, one gem is for this one gem's for that one gem for that one. I guess if I had like one more,
That would make you the most powerful being on Midgard or Earth.
well,
Like holding three of those Infinity Stones all at once.
the Infinity Swirls.
Well,
That
I
might
have a ton more questions, but I also have a wife and two kids and an incontinent dog who all need me.
Of
But can
course.
I ask you five non wrestling related questions? Yes or no?
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Like,
Do you have any like tasteful nudes of any of the or all of the Golden Girls in your residence?
topless, you mean, or like
I
kind
don't
of?
care.
Yes.
Provocative.
Very, very provocative.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
but it's not
I
what you would
wasn't
expect.
expecting that answer, but I'm really impressed. Um,
Well,
okay. Have you ever been confronted by a Karen? And I'll change it up. Have you ever seen a Karen
I
confrontation?
have seen a Karen at least a few times. I recently saw one, actually. I recently saw a Karen. Believe it or not, I love to read a lot of books.
Uh,
I'm one of those people that still likes to
yeah, to hold
read
like an
old
actual
books.
book.
And I remember I was reading this one book, and it's right next door to a yogurt shop, and this woman was specifically looking for this kind of yogurt. And she kept yelling at this coworker who, was explaining to her that we don't carry this one anymore, but your item had this. And she specifically pulled out her phone to show her
Uh-huh.
about the flavor, and that they took that a different coworker said that it was this flavor here, and then this coworker saying something different. And I remember I had to like peer over my book, and I had to look over. I was like, "Are you serious right now?
Yeah, totally.
Over frozen yogurt?
Yeah,
This is the
yeah.
one time that I actually get to sit down and actually enjoy reading a book. I mean, like, because English was one of my favorite subjects in high school,
Mhm.
so I love to read.
Oh, that's great. All right, question number 3. For $2.3 million, would you spend one night in a coffin with a dead body? $2.3
No,
million.
$2.3 million.
And let me say it would be more the dead body would be more bony than,
Ooh.
squishy.
Well, I don't really have any options there, but if
Mhm.
it was 5 million, maybe, but 2.3 million,
5 you would start
it's a
considering
bit of
it.
a nail biter,
Okay. Okay,
Unless the
well,
dead body, wait, hold on. Unless the
yeah.
dead body is Elton John, or if it's or if it's Betty White, it's got to be one of those two. Big
Then you
Elton
would
John
do it.
fan. Yes, I would do it.
What about with the
But
bones of Christopher Columbus?
ugh,
Those are just
I mean,
bones and dust.
the founder of America, besides the man that revolutionized pop and the
Yeah.
old woman who never basally dies. So.
Yeah, totally. That never-ending
Maybe,
story with her.
maybe. I mean, I that's a bit of a
We'll talk about
stretch.
it. In part
We'll talk
2,
about it.
I'll bring this up again.
That's fine.
Number 4, can you stop a car that's about to hit a puppy with your mind?
With my mind,
Mhm.
if I can stop, I mean, that's a bit of an interesting question. Like, so do I now have
Like you
telekinesis?
have, yeah, I that's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of.
I mean, like, I'm reading your mind right now. So,
Oh.
I mean, is this the question you want to ask me?
Yes. Okay. So moving on then. Oh, wow. Are you a fan of LARPing?
LARPing.
Mhm.
I mean, you watch professional wrestling, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
There you
true.
go.
I was thinking more of like Civil War reenactment.
Civil War reenactment. I mean, I respect it for what it is.
Mhm.
I've seen it numerous times in a lot of propaganda and a lot of social media and stuff like that. I mean, do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
fair.
going to. I will say there's an exception to it. MegaCon. MegaCon is a big exception. I haven't been to Meg. I was gonna go to MegaCon this year, but unfortunately, a lot of cancellations happened. I was robbed of missing my opportunity of getting to meet. Is it Amy Garcia? Amy Garcia from Lucifer. I was
Oh,
robbed of
really?
that, and I was also robbed of seeing the cast of Full House. I was robbed of that.
Oh, geez.
Yes, there was a bit of some cancellations. I don't remember if it was specifically them because they were the main attraction. DB Woodside, he was another one who played Lucifer's brother.
Oh, okay, cool.
He actually canceled on that one, so
Oh,
that was a bit of
sucks.
a. All right, before we get off the air here, I do
Sure.
want to share one interesting story about Megan.
Let's hear it.
Stephen Amell. I don't know if you know this or not, but your guest, Jason
I know
Dugan,
Stephen.
he's a big fan of Stephen Amell.
Mhm.
We had the opportunity to go work for MegaCon and be volunteers.
Okay.
And when we were gifted this opportunity, because Jason has very close friends that work with the con conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We had to go to the Orange County Convention Center, which there's two different buildings. There's an east side and a west side. The east side is where all the stuff is. That's where you got to meet in and stuff like that. The west side is very far.
Okay.
So you've got to make like this whole giant walk up a few flight of stairs, and have to make it on time. So we went the west side. So we went completely off where we needed to go because I was in a rush to getting us there, and we kind of woke up a little bit late for this. And I remember Jason was the first person to go check in, and he specifically requested to go to Stephen Amell's booth.
Okay.
They said no. But I come in a few minutes later after I just parked the car, go upstairs. Hey, you're working Stephen Amell's booth. Oh, okay. Did you not realize I came in at the same time as Jason? So Jason, he gets put to doing all the grunt work. He has to be the flag man to helping flag up and down the people to go do all the photo booths. He has to go running around doing this, doing that. I'm sitting right next to where Superman, who was on Supergirl, and Stephen Amell and the Smallville Superman all were in line, and I was basically one of the not security guards, but got to have that role. And Jason found out about that. He was,
Oh my God! Yeah, that's kind of.
he was hot.
He must have felt awful.
He was very hot with me that day. So
Like if you had come in before him, it could have been the opposite, right?
maybe, and I would
Wow.
have probably been doing all the grunt work. But
Do
I
you-
eventually gave him I bought him a photo booth with Stephen Amell just to make up.
Oh, that's nice.
$90 later.
You know what you should have gotten him? Instead of that, you should have gotten him a picture of you and Stephen
Yes,
and you both autographed and give it to him.
I think, in my opinion, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Oh, that's hilarious. Did you say you're wrestling on the 25th of September?
Yes. Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling's Wham Bam Slam 3, 2. I don't remember. I have to remember the numbers, but it's Wham Bam Slam on pay-per-view.
Nice.
Fight TV, $9.99. The best
Okay.
$10 you can spend. You have the one and only Cesar Bononi from ARW of the Wingman. You also get Paola Blaze from 90 Day Fiance, and you get Jazz.
Oh, wow.
The only Jazz who is on a retirement tour right now, and she will be actually in the one and only Jazz's Extreme Retirement Gauntlet match.
Wow.
And believe it or not, she is the main event of that show. So if you're a fan of women's wrestling, if you're a fan of women's wrestling, if you're a fan of any pro wrestling, if you're a fan of extreme wrestling, you want to come see, if you can't come and see, you have Fight TV at the palm of your hands. Download for free, $9.99. And if you want to check out some of the other Extreme Takeover Thursday episodes on Fight TV, you can do so as well.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Jerry, thank you so much. And like I said, I have a bunch more questions for you. So hopefully you'll come on again soon.
I would love to.
Okay, good. Because I really do mean that. All right. But until then, stay healthy and safe and sane. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much, Brad, for this interview. I really
my pleasure, Jerry. I really appreciate it.